Welcome to the Conquistabores. Come with us on a ride on the Lex Express back to the summer of 1993 for SummerSlam 1993. In the driver's seats, Gigolo Cameron Phillips, Dr. Phil Doyle, and Geordie Allen Milburn. Only tonight on the Conquistabores. So it's just a triple threat podcast tonight.
It is. It's a triple threat.
Triple threat with myself, Phil Doyle, and my left.
I don't know who's on your left.
Depends on which direction you're facing, really.
I'm facing.
You got your compass.
I don't know. Well, on my left would be Cameron because that's slightly more. I don't know.
How? Where is your left shoulder in relation to north?
Well, it's near the window.
Okay.
Let me get my phone. You two introduce yourself. I'll set out which direction I'm facing at the moment.
Go on, Al.
I'm in the east, I think.
The northeast.
The northeast, that's right.
In Newcastle.
The most glorious of all easts.
Oh, yes. You can have the Far East. You want the North.
Or the Middle East.
Or the Middle East. No, nothing of that. No. You want the Northeast.
We've gone there already, have we?
Yep, we have.
Okay. Hold on. My shoulder. Right, north is behind me.
All right.
My left shoulder is facing east. So Al would be on my left.
Yeah. Ish.
Right, let's start this again, right? So I'm on the left, right?
What if you could have just said a name and that would have been fine?
But me and Cameron didn't know which one who was going.
Anyway, Cameron and Al's here.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourselves?
Not too bad.
I had a week last week where I had to work from home. Because my lady wife had to go to Scotland for a funeral. So I was working at home with Wyatt because she left him behind.
Uh-huh.
So I wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning with him, give him some food, and then put him into like his jumping gym. Put the laptop on and do some work. And I was like, I need to think like on in the background, just to kind of keep me sane through the day.
Mm-hmm.
WWE Network.
Oh, yes. That's what it's handy for.
I think there was 4 days I didn't watch anything apart from that. I just had it on all the time.
It is a glorious thing. I gave Kyle his first taste of wrestling on the network the other night.
Oh, what did you watch?
He watched the ladder match from WrestleMania 31, the Intercontinental match.
Oh, nice.
He was quite impressed. He was like, got to the end and he was like, "What do you think of that?" And he went, "It's good." I was like, that's not like a wrestling match. That's a ladder match. They just have to all get the belt.
That's what spots.
And he's like, and then he was there kind of going, "But it'll be dead easy. You just jump up the ladder." I was like, going, "Yeah, but the other guys are trying to stop you." And he was he laughed his arse off when like Stardust pulled the glittery ladder out from under the ring, and it was the name, I can't remember the name that it was given.
That's Spangled Stardust, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the Intergalactic Journey Porthole or something like that, or whatever. And it was just that.
And then Bad News just stamped it in half.
Kyle thought that was just Wade Barrett just basically cracked it, in half. It was funny. So yeah, he liked that. So he's slowly getting there, basically.
Well, speaking of that, WrestleMania did happen, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I watched it live when it happened.
Yep.
What do we think of it? I know we'll just do a quick review of it rather than a massive thing about it. But
best one for many, many years, I'd say.
Oh, many years.
Yeah, many years.
I've kind of watched them regularly since 28, so 28, 29, 30. I think there's been like good spots in each one, but there hasn't been it hasn't been consistent across the whole card. Yeah,
that's what was good about it. All the stuff held up.
Everything up to the first kind of 4 matches, though. The ladder match, the tag match on the pre-show was really good, and the Battle Royal was good apart from the ending. The ladder match was good. Seth Rollins and Randy Orton was really good. What was after that?
Sting Triple H.
Yeah, that was just bonkers.
Nostalgia all over.
I think it was somebody on a podcast kind of said it was basically like a reenactment of the Monday Night Wars. Yeah, it was good WrestleMania.
It was a good WrestleMania from the spectacle. Match quality was... There was not one sort of big, massive classic that you look back and kind of go, that was incredible.
Yeah, it wasn't like a 5-star.
No, there wasn't like a Shawn Michaels Taker or anything like that really in there. But it was good as a consistent thing. It was entertaining. Some of it was ridiculously daft, but that's fine. You know, don't mind that. But it was good. I enjoyed it and I was entertained. At the end of the day, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, I had a great. I thought it was one of the best pay-per-views in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also the NXT show where they show the tournament to get into the main event, into the Battle Royal. That's really good as well. If you haven't seen that,
I haven't seen it.
They kind of really do push behind Hideo Itami on it. That's really good.
Cool.
Like you see with his kids, and his kids are so cute.
Because they're small and Japanese.
Yeah, and then you see like one of the kids trying out his GTS and his little brother, which is like that as well. In the when he finally busts out a GTS in that crowd, that is such a good moment.
Yeah, when he cracked Tyler Breeze with it, yeah, that's awesome.
Crowd going mental. And Tyler Breeze, man, I flipping love him.
He's cool. He's gonna have to be main event soon, or like up to the main roster rather.
He was in like the Fatal 4, wasn't he?
Yes.
And like he's not the biggest, but he's just got such a good like heel look to him.
He's a very young. He reminds me of a young Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, and like when he came out with
Shawn Michaels circa this time around about 1993 actually.
Yeah, he had that match with Adam Rose, and like all the Rosebuds were there, and he kind of like forced him out the way with his selfie stick.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, it's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like just
little details.
He just knows how to be a heel and how to be like an annoying heel. So I like him.
Twat, yeah.
An arrogant twat. Speaking of arrogant twats, SummerSlam '93.
The Lex Express has been crisscrossing this great land of ours, with Lex Luger meeting hundreds of thousands of Americans. His red, white, and blue call to action campaign has finally reached its destination, the Palace of Auburn Hills in suburban Detroit, Michigan. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the setting for the 1993 edition of SummerSlam.
Can I start for the dark match? You always missed the dark match out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Although we do have the rule if it's not on the network, then we don't include it. But carry on now.
Well, it is the mighty clash between Owen Hart and Barry Harwis.
So wait, Owen Hart has a match, runs out back, puts in an awesome pair of cowboy boots, and gets back out in the crowd later on.
A really cruddy colour of shirt.
Really
it is, isn't it?
Really crap colour. You don't look at that kind of beige shirt. The thing is, they both got the same colour of shirt.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
It's as if
they're brothers.
It's as if their parents are just kind of going, "This'll do."
It's probably been handed down from every brother, you see.
Probably it's probably got hand-me-downs.
Yes. But we don't care about the dark match.
No,
so
we do.
We don't, because we've got to get to the Lex Express.
No, it's got significance because here is Owen Hart in the dark match. 1 year later, he's main event in SummerSlam.
Oh, true.
So he is. I didn't think of that. So he is.
But is that any more important than the Lex Express?
Well,
yes.
in hindsight, yes.
Come on. That bus must cost them a pretty penny to drive around the country with Lex Express written on the side.
So we'll get to the details of Lex Express later on, but I love the way in the video package at the start, the first thing I've written on the page is, why did they give the impression that Luger himself drove the bus? Because he's there behind the wheel going, oh yes, I'm a driver. Going across America.
Because a bus that size, Cameron, you need muscles to move a bus that size.
Well, you do, yeah.
You need like the total package behind the wheel to be able to maneuver it with any kind of level of skill.
Yep, pretty much.
But it ends up in suburban Detroit.
Shockingly, that.
Yeah. They do kind of over-specify that they're in suburban Detroit. I don't know why.
the Palace of Auburn Hills in suburban Detroit, Michigan.
Maybe suburban Detroit's the posh part. Maybe something like that.
Well, Detroit is a city that has gone bankrupt recently, so...
Yes.
They spent the last of the money on the statue of RoboCop, I believe.
Justifiably so.
That was a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Where was it? Right.
They said the City Hall in Detroit wanted a symbol of someone from Detroit that people thought of, they looked at, and they said it had to resemble hope, and it had to resemble the future. Now then, someone jokingly put, "What about RoboCop?" Everyone jumped on it, and he won about 83% of the vote.
Brilliant.
It works for me. He's, he came back from being dead. There can be no greater hope than that.
Yep.
He's a robot, therefore that's the future.
Yes.
And he's even helped Sting out. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
He's just ticked all the boxes.
Apparently, there was a big kerfuffle because City Hall originally said, "No, we can't have that." There was a mass protest outside City Hall because they said, "No, we all voted for it. That's what you're putting on there." Because there's like a list of other celebrities and all this kind of stuff that were from Detroit. Blah blah blah. I can't name any.
Rocky's in Philadelphia, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is now an 8.5 foot tall bronze statue of RoboCop outside Detroit City Hall.
Brilliant.
But just to kind of wildly segue for a moment, speaking of RoboCop, did anybody hope when Triple H came out with the Terminator stuff that RoboCop was going to come out and do a tag match with Sting?
I really wanted that to happen. I really thought they would have pushed.
But then, RoboCop would have had to start his run in about the start of the show because it would have taken that long to get down the ramp.
Yeah, it would have pretty much.
Really long time.
What was the intro like to the show? I'm trying to remember what it was.
It was basically like the Lex Express has traveled across America.
Oh, it's all Vince, isn't he? Yeah, it's all
Vince's
Vince's
the
voice,
Lex Express has stopped at suburban Detroit for SummerSlam. And then it doesn't make any mention of Yokozuna at all.
Because you got Bobby Heenan and Vince on commentary, isn't it?
You got Bobby Heenan and Vince on commentary, yes, which is unusual to say the least, because Vince is doing his typical kind of, "Oh no, please don't say that. That's rather rude," kind of thing. He's still in that phase.
Heenan will only have one more pay-per-view left before he went.
I was going to say he can't be long going.
No, he makes Survivor Series and then he's done after that.
And he's done in the January of 94.
Bobby and Vince.
Yes.
Are they the best combination of the two of them?
Well, they did SummerSlam 92 off the top of my head as well. I think that was they did SummerSlam 92 together. I think that was their only other pay-per-view together, I think.
Yeah.
And then Survivor Series afterwards.
All right, because I say as we're just talking with Al, Heenan wasn't that long out the door after this. Well, another 6 months, and then he was gone.
Yeah, because he had was it neck injuries or something, and he wanted to retire. Then Mean Gene said, "Oh, come to WCW."
Yeah, and he did. He was on WCW for ages.
Actually, I think Vince and Bobby did Survivor Series 92 as well. I think it was SummerSlam 92, Survivor Series 92, and then they did SummerSlam Survivor Series 93 as well, I think.
But I always felt like when I saw Vince come to you, I was like, "Oh, I want to hear Gorilla Monsoon," and then they point out there's Jim Ross and Gorilla Monsoon on the radio.
The men and women of the armed forces enjoying SummerSlam all over the world as we are here in the United States.
I can't think of anything quite as dull as listening to wrestling on the radio.
I wanted to listen to that so badly when I was younger. It's like, well, I wanted to listen to it.
Well, you should have joined the American military, Al.
On the WWE network, they must be able to get
12.
the audio for that and have a separate audio track between the two. You know what I mean?
Be quite funky. It's probably nothing they've thought of. It would involve a little bit extra work.
It's just like separate audio tracks on a DVD, isn't it? For commentary tracks or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose. But
that'd be awesome to hear what they said. Hear Jim Ross calling this in the Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, I love the fact also that they seem to be as high up as they possibly can.
Yeah, as high up as possible.
Did they call a match at this SummerSlam? Did they have a match to call? No.
No, what? Gorilla Monsoon and JR.
Yeah.
No, they were stuck on WWF radio.
No, in the Rumble, when they did the same thing at the 94 Rumble, they let JR and Gorilla Monsoon, I think it was the IC match, they got the commentator on.
All right.
So they give them a match that time, but obviously not this time.
Jim Ross grumbling about not being able to do the job he wanted to do.
Probably.
Well, at least he's not in a toga for this pay-per-view.
No, he's not in a toga. We'll get to togas later on, by the way.
No, we won't.
We will.
We're going to get to $1 Million Man versus Razor Ramon.
The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. One of the wealthiest men rubber in all of the WWF.
Firstly, by the way, just before we do that, no Vince growly voice rundown this month.
Well, no, because you've got the Lex Express. What more do you need than that?
Arrived in suburban Detroit for SummerSlam. No, right. Anyway, $1 Million Man, Razor Ramon.
This is Ted's last match.
It sadly is.
Is it?
In the WWE, yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, of course,
think
because when he comes back in 95, he's a manager, isn't he?
94.
94, sorry. 94, 95.
Yeah, I think he had a couple more matches like on some of the companies, like one match maybe in Japan, I think.
I think it's one of the matches in All Japan that does his back in finally.
Yeah.
And then he's got to do, what's that insurance company called? Sorry, Lloyd's, is it?
Lloyd's of London.
Yeah, he goes and claims on that, I believe.
Yeah, which basically, so did Bret Hart when he had the stroke, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it basically means, yes, you get all the money, but you can't be seen in wrestling again because that's fraud.
Although Bret Hart did wrestle to a degree, so I don't know.
Apparently they had to have the arrangement that there was no shots to his head.
Okay.
And he wasn't going to take any bumps because that's basically, obviously, that's with a stroke injury. You can't be seen taking batterings to the head. Hence, it's basically 25 minutes of him squashing Vince.
Yes.
Makes sense.
He's wearing a nice white suit, if I remember.
It's nice. I like his suits are awesome. Like, Ted was a great bad guy, and he always looked really good when he came out.
He is.
And like his swan song being the opening match against Razor Ramon is a little bit sad.
Yeah, I think it is as well. I can't for that. Well, we'll get into it later, but I can't for the life of me know why this wasn't Money Inc. against the Steiners. It seemed the perfect platform to have Money Inc. against the Steiners, but I can only assume they wanted to use maybe DiBiase to help get Ramon over. Yeah.
But I mean, he gets a big pop when he comes out. I think it's probably the second biggest pop of the night.
He probably is. It is a decent pop. He also that man can rock Pink.
He really can, can't he? Will. He's a bad guy, isn't he?
Variety of colours he comes out in. Like it's, I like the pink and the light blue he does as well. I think the black's a bit boring for my liking.
A little bit.
But would you rather have that or the $1 Million suit?
Oh, the suit, because I like the white suit, the green suit, obviously, and the classic black suit. Or the $1 Million suit, I think. Although he wasn't wearing that when we saw him, was he, Cameron?
No, he wasn't. No, he was not. He was just in a plain sort of chinos and t-shirt combo, if I remember rightly.
What's the point of that then? He's the $1 Million Man.
But he was not there in the capacity of being $1 Million Man. He was there in the capacity of being a church preacher.
Oh, awesome.
Have we not told you the story about how me and Al snuck into a church to go and see the $1 Million Man?
I think he did.
Yeah.
On one of the previous shows.
Yeah, because like the minister that married me and Claire is called Sandy. He's got a church in Dumfries, and he invites guest speakers of a Monday night to come and talk about their experiences in Christianity. And a couple 2 or 3 years ago now, there was $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase popped up, and I was like going, do I? Yeah, sod it, go on. So we did. We snuck in, and there was like a youth event going on beforehand, which we kind of had to sit through, and it was cracking. All these young folk with guitars standing up, singing about how much they love God, which is fine. Don't have anything against that. But we were kind of in the corner going, oh man, is he there? And we thought it got to the point where we thought he was actually in another room, and we'd gone in the wrong place. But no, he appeared after the halfway point, and it was genuinely actually interesting to hear his story. And you didn't have to be kind of there was a lot of kind of like, we will pray now going on at one stage, but hearing his story about how he got through wrestling and discovering God and all this kind of stuff was quite good, actually, from a purely story-based point of view. It was quite cool.
Yeah. Did he mention this match at all during the...
No, he did not mention this match. I don't think it came up with... it didn't come up as a wrestling event in which his wife discovered his infidelity.
Oh, okay.
What was that? I can't even remember which one it was. Was it WrestleMania 9, he said, Al?
I can't remember either.
It was like, it was just after WrestleMania 9 when my wife gave me the phone call. She had discovered my infidelity.
Is that what he said? Like,
yeah, that's what he said.
Did he do the laugh after that?
Not really.
That would be your best how to do the laugh.
He was like, I felt shame, and it's just because apparently all the other guys with the drinking, he could refuse a drink. That was fine. He never did any drugs. His weakness was the women.
Oh dear.
He couldn't turn a woman down, apparently.
That's the thing. He was out on the road, and they were like, "Ted, we need you to be like the $1 Million Man. It's kayfabe. Here's loads of money. Go spend it."
Pretty much, yeah. And that's apparently what happened. And loads of women latched onto him, and he ended up going to bed with them all.
Do you think he passed any on to Virgil? I'm a bit tired tonight, Virgil. Take one for the team.
That is probably the worst porn ever.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus.
But we did get we got to meet him at the end anyway, Cam, didn't we?
He was good. He had the original $1 Million belt.
Wow.
Which
I've
was
held it. I've
yes.
held the $1 Million belt.
Which a part of it, my minister friend Sandy said that apparently when he arrived and Sandy picked him up, he actually he allowed Sandy to hold the $1 Million belt, and then one of the plates fell off. And
no.
Sandy in a moment of, oh no, I've broken the $1 Million belt, and apparently Ted DiBiase just put his hand on his shoulder and went, "Don't worry, Sandy, it happens all the time," and he just screwed it back on. Bless him.
Wow.
Apparently Vince
Ted's
let
a
him keep
legend.
it.
Love Ted.
So it was great. Anyway, back to SummerSlam 93 and not me and Al's covert church missions.
Wait, covert church missions?
Yeah.
More than one?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, well, that'll be another podcast.
Yeah, that'll be another podcast. That's another story.
the
It's a decent match. Ted takes some bumps. They do the old exposed turnbuckle spot.
Yeah, he likes that one, Ted. He used it. I remember in the Virgil match he used it, and probably in more than that.
Yeah,
the match,
he's a legal bad guy, isn't he?
The match came about because he basically laughed at Razor Ramon getting beat off the 1-2-3 kid.
There's a bit of a mention of that on commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, because later on, there's like the other two people of the tag teams kind of have another match, which makes no sense because you thought, why not have them both have the same match at the same time?
I thought a tag team match would make more sense as well. But there you go.
How long had Razor Ramon at this stage been in the WWF? It can't be that long because his first debut was Survivor Series 92.
Yeah, I think he did debut just around SummerSlam 92, so I would say about a year.
About a year, and already he's a face.
Well, it was him losing to Kid kind of ignited his face too, wasn't it?
Kind of like weirdly made him a face.
And that was what, about 2-3 months into Raw? It wasn't long into the show, was it?
No, it was the first
January, and I think it was May, something like that.
Yeah, it was the first big kind of oh my god moment on Raw,
You need to watch
wasn't
the
it?
Raw, don't you?
Because he was just a jobber. He was just the kid had lost like a few matches, and he was just portrayed as a jobber, and then obviously did the big upset.
Not to be fair, he looks like one.
Yeah, he would change his name like the Lightning Kid and the Kamikaze Kid.
Yeah,
and that night he was just called the Kid, and then obviously to the 1-2-3
I'm
Kid.
sure I remember watching that. I caught it on like WWE Superstars or Wrestling Challenge or something.
it was shown on Mania on Saturday morning
Yeah, that's the show.
because we never got Raw over here until
No.
the 90s.
Murphy wasn't
95.
Yeah, and even then it wasn't live.
No, Friday at 5:00.
Yep. But yeah, it was on Saturday Morning Mania with Todd Pettengill, who will come up later.
Todd Pettengill. Well, he pops up next, flirting with the Steiner sisters and mother.
I'm just going to get a bit of commentary. It'd be good if you could insert the line here. It's when Bobby Heenan says something like Ted DiBiase offered him a job as a bin man or something and he turned it down.
As a domestic.
Is that what he said?
Yes, he said he offered him a job as a domestic. He bet he's regretting turning that one down now.
You know, McMahon, Razor should have taken the easy way out. DiBiase offered him a job as a domestic, and he should have taken that job. You know what a domestic is.
Well, you want to describe what a domestic is for us?
Well,
Mr.
that's
Heenan?
when you first say you come to work, they hand you the toilet brush and the dust mop, and all you do is make sure everything's right in the house.
I see.
You can't really mess that up.
I see. And you believe that Razor Ramon should have accepted that offer from Ted DiBiase?
Well, I didn't realize that the toilet brush and the dust mop was too much for him.
Like, I remember he saying, like, he Razor hooked the tights when he pinned him as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought he'd get Ted up in the Razor's Edge. Really?
It's quite a bad bump. Backlund refused to take it at WrestleMania 9, apparently.
Well, the Razor's Edge?
Yeah, he wouldn't
Well,
take it.
it's like an unprotected fall on the back of your head, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not the best of bumps.
No, you can't really do anything to control it. It is literally going to batter. But if you noticed how, I'm convinced that when he first started doing it, he went straight down, and then he started like putting one knee down and then dropping him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one I was watching out for it, and this one is one knee down then drop.
Yeah. But it's not like, is it like Bad Luck Fale in New Japan just throws them?
No, he just throws them.
Just throws them in the air.
But hey, that's New Japan. Concussions later, guys.
Well, that's Ted DiBiase would vouch for that.
Yes, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I say this. It's the it's kind of it's a decent enough opener. It's basically
the crowd warmed
heel
up.
gets over on face, face attempts to cheat, backfires spectacularly. face finishing move. 1, 2, 3.
I've got the Meltzer rating for it if you want.
Go on.
1.5 stars.
It's all right. It's a bit harsh.
I remember liking it as a kid because
Razor, isn't it?
yeah, I watched this obviously as a 12-year-old when it was not live, but like a couple of days later on tape. And I remember I liked DiBiase as well, and I was thinking, no, it's time for Razor to. He's going to win because everyone's cheering for him now. So I thought he's going to win, and it's nice that sort of DiBiase he got to be sort of a legitimate legend as well on his way to the top.
Oh yeah, because Ted's, they brought him in for what WrestleMania 4 to be like the top heel of the company, didn't they? After they kind of Andre couldn't go anymore. They needed that kind of big bad guy at the top, and they were like, right, bring Ted in, let's make him bad. And he was really good. I don't remember really having a bad kind of run or match.
No, he's one of the star, the go-to
he
guys.
Really kind of dropped down the card and he went into the tag team. Money Inc. was still like a really good tag team.
Yeah, because he had to do a lot of matches against the Warrior, just after Warrior won the title. Put a lot of against DiBiase because he could sort of carry the match and make it respectable. Yeah. Although nowadays the Warrior's the best worker ever, so there you go.
Oh dear.
So yeah, does that conclude the first match? I think, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
First match, enjoyable encounter.
Yeah. The next part is, I hope you can lift some of the audio for this, Phil, because the next part was comedy gold.
Do you mean, are you referring to Todd Pettingill flirting with the Steiner mum and sister?
Yeah, I will quote, which one of you is the mother and the sister? You both look so great.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the arena, we've got Todd Pettingill with some of the members of the Steiner family, I believe. Todd, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed, Vince McMahon. I am standing by with Mother Steiner and Crystal, or is it... I can't even tell. You both look so great now.
Todd Pettingill seems to be turned into some kind of like Billy Crystal-style Jewish comedian in this sequence. Like his whole delivery is like, "What you doing?
Oh yeah,
Walter."
Don't go near my lamps or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And she goes, whatever, Todd.
It was like, no Frankenstein is near my lamps. That's the one.
Now, I just want to ask you real quickly, the mother of the Steiner brothers, it had to be an incredible childhood. Were you always telling them, no Frankensteiners by my good lamps?
Right. Whatever you say, sounds good.
It's the moment where Mrs. Steiner, bless her heart, looks at Todd Pettingill and goes, whatever you say sounds good. She obviously cannot hear a bloody word he's saying over the noise. And just wants him to go away now. Thank you.
Just go away, please.
Yeah,
because we've got to have the heavenly bodies have got to come out.
Whoa. You missed the part where the sister calls Rick Steiner Rob.
You missed that?
No, he does. Sure, she does. Yeah. I was going to write that down too.
There had to be no man you could bring home that would pass that inspection.
That's it. They'd walk in the house, they'd see Robin Scott go, I'm out of here.
Our sister needs to stay home and study.
Obviously, his real name. It's not massive because there's not much difference between Rick and Rob. But you can imagine saying, no, his name's Rob. I'm not calling him by his silly name.
No,
he's born Rob. I'm calling him Rob.
Well, what do you think the sister of Gigolo Jimmy Ray, whatever his name is,
Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey,
Gigolo Jimmy?
I know. You ever noticed how his daughter Lana sings like a dying horse? Carry on.
Anyways,
I'll leave that there.
I do notice, like, when the Heavenly Bodies come out, they look like wrestlers used to look like.
Yeah, we're on the kind of verge of the WWF becoming sort of this, what it is now, this kind of multinational thing.
Yeah.
And breaking away from the territories.
Yeah.
As far as on TV is concerned. And the Heavenly Bodies definitely look like a tag team from the territories.
Yeah. Well, they are.
They are the Smoky Wrestling's finest, aren't they?
Apparently...
they're better late at night than David Letterman, apparently.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the tag team that's better late at night than David Letterman. Dr. Tom Pritchard, Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey, they are the Heavenly Bodies.
And here they come, the challengers for the tag team title. Doctor of Desire, Tom Pritchard, and what was Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey. Yeah.
This match came up as an open challenge. The Steiner brothers had an open challenge to any team, and Smoky Mountain Wrestling, that was in a bit of financial trouble, cut a bit of a deal with Vince and got some television time. They even get a match at Survivor Series as well. But so there you go. Jim Cornette brings them down.
Yeah. I must say, though, their music is better than the Steiners.
The Steiners is terrible.
But the Heavenly Bodies music is good.
It's probably some great Michigan like state anthem or something. But
like Rick Steiner can't even carry the belt properly.
No.
Like, it's backwards and like you can see the leather bit at the back.
But is that not his whole gimmick though? He was like a bulldog. He was like, it's like when Bubba Ray Dudley used to wear the belt around his neck.
That was kind of good though, because you could at least see the belt itself.
And you could just see his eyes and his dome head poking out on the top of it as well.
That's fine.
It was great, yeah.
And it's also a pre-madness Scott Steiner.
I was going to say, you forget how agile Scott Steiner used to be.
Yeah.
And when you see like Scott Steiner 1999-2000 WCW, you cannot equate that with what you're seeing now, can you?
No.
Look at it and go,
two different people completely.
I genuinely, I remember at the time when I first saw this guy, Big Papa Pump, with the muscles and the sunglasses and the chainmail hat thing he had, I genuinely thought it was Rick.
Yeah, because it looks more like him, yeah.
Yeah, it looked more like him. And it took me ages to think, no, that's Scott, that's the guy that used to have the mullet. It was like, what the
Frankensteiners and the Steiner lines.
Yeah. But it's
a little dedication to Jim Cornette here. You notice he's wearing a neck brace?
Yeah.
They're actually selling injury he got in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, or a kayfabe injury. So
nice.
Heenan actually mentions it on commentary as well.
Oh, does he?
Well, Heenan also gives out the Steiner's home address at one point.
Yeah, I got to Detroit early, and I drove by their home, where they were raised. You can go to 18714 Grand River Avenue. That is where the Steiners were raised.
Yeah, I don't imagine it'll be the real home address at all.
Are we going to go?
Should we put the postcode into Google Maps and see what comes up? That's the Steiner's house.
Also, Bobby calls a senton a moonsault, and then he calls a normal moonsault a reverse moonsault. It's when you don't even see it. Gigolo Jimmy does one off the apron onto Scott Steiner, just like a senton off the thing, and Bobby goes, "Oh, that was a moonsault." No, it's not, Bobby.
I've got my notes here as well that this feels like the wrong way around. That the face team, who are in their home state and home city, are defending the belt. Surely this would have worked a lot better had the Heavenly Bodies had the belts and the Steiners were going to win it.
Well, Money Inc. had the belts and they won it on like Raw or something. They didn't win it.
Would have made more sense for them to win it at the big show rather than on a television do a tag match. Well, you thought it'd be easy for him to do a tag match because he could spend most of it on the apron, couldn't he?
Yeah,
tag match, yeah.
That was the whole reason they put him in Money Inc., wasn't it? Because he had all these niggling injuries.
Weird.
If he had a tag match, he could just sort of work half the time, kind of thing. But never mind. But at one point in the match, obviously, the Heenan scoring system gives the Heavenly Bodies 1,112 to the Steiner Brothers 9.
The Heavenly Bodies coming very, very close now. You feel unquestionably the momentum of the match upshift back in favor of the Heavenly Bodies.
Well, it's gone that way since the beginning, back and forth, but I'm going to have to give the edge to the Heavenly Bodies just on points. My point system puts them 1,112 to 9.
What kind of a point system is that?
My point system.
I did write down Bobby's point system of legend.
Yeah,
Bobby Heenan is good, isn't he? I mean, fair. It's not. I don't think it's vintage Bobby. It's not up to the level of WrestleMania 8. Sorry, but
no.
He's still good though, isn't he?
I think he's sort of getting a bit sick, isn't he? I think he's, he feels his time's just about done. Listen to WWE anyway.
But the match is all right. It's good. The Heavenly Bodies are quite good. They're quite good heel tag team.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner could always do a really good suplex.
Well, if you want to see him do belly-to-belly suplexes, watch his match against Triple H at Royal Rumble 2003. That's the only move he does in the match, pretty much.
Well, hey, Lesnar does Germans and no one can.
Yeah, no. Lesnar gets cheated and Steiner got ripped to shreds.
Steiner's like, oh no, he just knows how to do belly-to-bellies, that's it.
Welcome to Suplex City, bitch.
As a kid, I remember not particularly liking the match in the sense of the result to me was so obvious. Obviously, I believed in it when I was 12, but it was so obvious that these other team couldn't beat them. So I thought that hurt the match a bit. But as a spectacle, it is quite a good match.
Oh, it's quite good.
And we get a Frankensteiner for a finisher because it used to be a finisher. Remember?
It was, yeah. I put there, was it Del Rey clobbers Tom Pritchard with a moonsault after Scott Steiner shoves Rick out of the way?
Yeah,
Frankenstein to Del Rey. Both Steiners pin Del Rey.
I think Scott celebrated and Rick goes, pin him. And just kind of jumps in.
Yeah.
But the referee just ignores it.
And then Scott's like, I don't know what to do now because I'm supposed to be pinning him. Oh, I'll just celebrate.
Yeah.
Hey.
The tennis racket comes in at one point, doesn't it? I think there's kicks out of the tennis racket.
Yeah,
shot.
That's what Cornette throws the racket in which Tom Pritchard uses to smash Rick Steiner. It only gets 2.
I feel I should know this answer, but do any of you know why Cornette's got the tennis racket?
Oh God, he explained it in a.
I don't know. I genuinely
Was it just
can't
because it was a
remember
good heel
I
weapon
can't
to use
remember.
or something?
We'll look at him for next.
There was someone.
Next show.
Oh, there was a reason he said why he chose the tennis racket. I think it's because someone who he admired had like a badminton racket or something like that, but he didn't want to have exactly the same.
Yeah.
So he had a tennis racket instead, and I can't remember the guy's name.
I think it's always good for a heel to have some kind of foreign object in with them
Oh
to the ring.
yeah. Well, it works.
Mr. Fuji's cane and such like.
Fuji's or the salt bucket, as we're going to see later.
Yeah.
Or Tyler Breeze's selfie stick. That's bound to use at some
Tyler
point.
Breeze's selfie stick is definitely top of that list at the moment because it's brilliant.
But now we need to go to Joe Fowler. Do we know who Joe Fowler is?
I have absolutely no idea who Joe Fowler is.
So they mentioned he's from the Screaming Minnesota somethings or other.
Yeah, there's obviously someone they've plucked off some college football radio or something like that.
I thought I'll Google him and see where he is. I did like Joe Fowler Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And I got back a retired American general.
Oh.
Not him.
Not him.
I did a bit more Googling, and apparently he's doing some kind of QVC show or something.
I can see that.
Yeah, so that's where he is now.
To be honest, he's not bad.
Standing by now, ladies and gentlemen, joining our podcast family here for the very first time. You perhaps have seen him as a sportscaster for the Fighting Minnesota Screaming Eagles. Well, standing by right now, he's with the WWF. Yes, Joe Fowler.
How lucky am I? My very first assignment is SummerSlam. This is bigger than life. Thank you, Vince McMahon, for bringing me on board. We've just seen a title match. We're about to see another one. Shawn Michaels has the Intercontinental belt. He's going to take on Mr. Perfect. Shawn is here along with his bodyguard, Diesel. Shawn, you've won it. You've lost it. You've won it. Can you hang on to this thing?
I mean, he's no Sean Mooney.
He's no Sean Mooney, but I don't spend the entire pay-per-view dreading his appearances and wanting to punch him.
So would you rate him above Todd Pettengill then?
Yes.
Straight away.
Todd Pettengill is immensely irritating. I never found Todd Pettengill that annoying when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But watching some of these pay-per-views back, like the ones I'm watching for the Conquistabores blog,
yeah,
he's amazingly irritating.
That would have been like prime Pettengill, wouldn't it? I suppose because he was doing the he did the Mania show, didn't he? The kind of Saturday stuff. He
did Saturday morning Mania, yeah.
Stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so Joe Fowler comes on interviewing Mullet Michaels in all of his glory.
Is it Fowler or is it Fowler?
I don't know. I got Fowler.
I've got F-A-L-L-E-R.
I thought it was Fowler as in Robbie, is what I thought.
No, I think it actually comes up in a caption at one stage.
Yeah.
You remember? I might be making that up. Who knows?
But Shawn Michaels with his mullet still glorious.
Shawn Michaels with the glorious mullet and the crap sunglasses. But Shawn versus Perfect. I had this match on Royal Rumble on the Super Nintendo once. It was an absolute classic.
This one, Perfect as good as he is, he's not quite on his game in this one, is he? I don't think.
I've put that they both seem a bit disjointed.
Yeah, Michael seems a bit doughy, doesn't he?
I think there was a bit of heat backstage between them, so I don't know if that sort of had anything to do with the match.
There's one bit early on where they completely mess up what I think was supposed to be a crucifix pin by Shawn Michaels. And Shawn comes off the ropes, kind of flips himself round Perfect's shoulders, goes kind of horizontal with him, but can't grip on, and Perfect moves. So Shawn basically just lands flat on his back.
I think it was a bit of at the time Michaels wasn't quite to the standard that he would become, and I think Perfect had a bit of some altercation with him. So I think this was a bit of Perfect trying to show him up a bit.
Yeah.
For hold for hold at the start of the match.
I love that because there's a moment where like Shawn's really angry, and then like Mr. Perfect does like a little jog, and that's just like, that's great. Like, because Perfect's great at those little kind of things. Like when he gets into the ring, I'm sure he throws his chewing gum at Bobby Heenan.
I think he does. Aye.
What happened, Bobby?
I got hit in the eye with something. What happened?
I don't know.
You know, there's just those kind of little things that Perfect does. Like we talked about him at the King of the Ring one, where like he was kind of being more of a heel.
Yes.
And it's just those little nuances. Even when he's like in this match, he's not on top of his game. It's those little nuances where he can just like take it to another level.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? Shawn works the back quite successfully.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Perfect's having proper back issues at this time as well.
I think they kind of allude to that. So obviously Sean puts a lot of pressure on his back.
Had he retired? Because after the SummerSlam 91 match with Bret Hart.
This is easy. And then he came back at Survivor Series 92, and he would sadly have to retire again before Survivor Series 93.
Yeah.
But then he would come back for WCW in 96, 97, something like that.
Right, when he,
But CW for a long time.
There's some good bits in this. He takes a brutal super kick on the outside. It sounds really nasty.
Unbelievable! I had to break his jaw.
Like that. And, that I quite like, because I think they're outside and you hear Bobby Heenan on the commentary say, "Here, Sean, use the monitor."
Put the boots to him, Sean. Here, use the monitor. Hey, what? Stay out of this.
Like, yes, Bobby, yes.
You can kind of tell that Shawn Michaels is getting this kind of his blasé attitude early on, because at one point Perfect clotheslines him, and I'm pretty sure that Shawn flips around about 720 degrees in the air before landing in that kind of over elaborate way that he totally did to Hulk Hogan in that SummerSlam match.
Gets the big boot and does a backflip.
Yeah, pretty much, and it just looks completely ridiculous and breaks any kind of feeling you have. Any kind of suspension of disbelief just breaks.
Yeah,
right there and then.
Well, and also, speaking of that, we get a dodgy count-out finish.
Well, the first of the evening, but not the last. I should say, not the last.
Yeah, it seems a bit weird to have one this early on the card.
Yeah, because Diesel interferes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Does he put him in the ring post?
It's
Perfect does the perfect plex.
He grabs his leg, doesn't he?
Diesel grabs his leg and pulls him out, and then batters him basically, and then Michaels wins by count out.
Yeah. And then we get Todd Pettengill runs down for the interview.
Yeah, in the middle of the aisle. Just runs a lot down the aisle to interview Sean coming up the other way. What the hell?
He's got to speak to the undisputed Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I think they were a bit disappointed with the match. I think they hoped it would reach, sort of many stars, but it was a bit of a flop, really, from a wrestling standpoint.
Greatest one.
3 stars, according to Meltzer, this one.
Oh, I think it's less than that, I must say.
Yeah.
Two of the best technical wrestlers. I think people were hoping for more from it.
Maybe not in 1993, though. I'd say.
I think the problem is the match. You've got.
No, Michaels just got match of the year with his match with Marty Jannetty on Raw.
I suppose.
I think the problem is you've got it's Shawn Michaels a year too early, Perfect a year too late.
Maybe they kind of pass each other that way, because you forget that this is Shawn Michaels before the first match that defined Shawn Michaels, which I would argue was the WrestleMania 10 ladder match.
Yeah.
That was the first match you watched Shawn Michaels kind of going, yeah, the guy's got it.
Yeah, he is that good.
Because there is a decent match between the two of them, but I don't think it's on the network, which the search option on the network's just abysmal.
It is.
But there's a match in 91 where Shawn Michaels is part of the Rockers, and it's like reverse, because he's the face and Perfect's the heel. And it's
is
just
that on
like
a pay-per-view, is it then, or is that on?
No, it's on Superstars or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like a throwaway match, but it's really good athletically and all the rest of it. And the spots they do is pretty impressive, but couldn't replicate anywhere near that for that one.
No. So we go back stage to Joe Fowler again.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, the 1-2-3 kid, he's so charismatic on the stick at the moment.
This is my first pay-per-view. 1, 2, 3, kid, this is your first pay-per-view. I admit I'm a little nervous. What about you?
Oh, God, Joe, I know this is your first pay-per-view, but for me, I'm getting in there with the IRS. He's one of the top wrestlers in the World Wrestling Federation today, and, the butterflies are coming on my stomach, I know I'm real excited to be out there, and this is a chance of a lifetime for me, but, God, I'm just so nervous I can't even talk.
Have you ever had any other wrestler on earth do a promo before a match, which is basically can be like amounted to, I'm fucking shitting it?
Yeah. I
understand. It's just like, yeah, I'm really nervous and I'm like this and I don't know and I've just got to try, and it sounds awful.
Yeah, because I understand that right, you're an underdog. It's your first pay-per-view. You've got to be kind of undersell it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But Jesus God, you can see why they didn't want to push him.
It was, they obviously have pushed him because they gave him a win against Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
But
I
for
think
some
they
reason,
pushed him there.
they've lumbered him with the character of being kind of like, oh, I'm really
Yeah.
scared.
But I think they did that, and they didn't really know what to do with him afterwards.
I think he beat Ted DiBiase going into this. I think Riz Ramon did the distraction, and he's got a win over Ted DiBiase as well coming into the match.
It was still really early then into his career because he turns heel later, doesn't he? Was it?
Oh, he turns heel much. He joins the $1 Million.
95.
Yeah, did we do that in that Survivor Series where he comes out
Survivor
as a heel?
95. He does it. He does it like the Monday night beforehand. He's a special guest referee, and he turns against Ramon.
And that's just before he goes to WCW, isn't it? He goes across during the NWO before he comes back for DX.
96.
Yeah, so it's not like he's still early in his career, but Jesus God, it doesn't. It's lucky he was so good in the ring, I tell you, because
you look at that and you kind of think, how did that become X-Pac?
Makes no sense.
In the same way that how did Scott Steiner become Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner? You're looking at that going, how did that scrawny beanpole kind of kid become X-Pac?
I would assume drugs.
Possibly.
Both recreational and otherwise.
Yes. And his time in China.
Yes.
I went there.
IRS.
So did he. Right. Back to the match.
I like IRS.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, who can't hate the tax man? You know, it's a heel gimmick.
It's a good gimmick, isn't it?
I like the really basic. He doesn't even get an entrance, does he?
No, he just does his. It's like, okay, generic city. You haven't paid your taxes today. Yeah.
Yes. Bye.
Detroit used to be known as the Motor City. Now it's known as the Tax Cheat City.
Erwin R. Shyster, ladies and gentlemen.
But like he's a good heel because he does the old abdominal stretch bit where he's grabbing onto the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good technical wrestler. He's just a good mechanic on the roster. It's just a shame that he's kind of gets lumbered with that. Well, it worked with Ted DiBiase, but by himself it kind of makes no sense.
It never changed though, did it?
No, it never evolved.
He never evolved. Apart from when he was in WCW for the 1995 World War III.
Yeah.
But he's one thing I noticed, I've just thought about it, actually. At no point during this match does the 1-2-3 kid grab his tie and start punching him.
Well, everyone does that.
Not the 1-2-3 kid.
It's a rookie mistake.
Obviously,
he's not seasoned enough, you see.
He's too nervous.
There's a bit, speaking of nervous, where like Bobby Heenan waffles on for about a minute about nothing.
Well, I think he shines more. His ability to think for himself, where he doesn't have to rely on a partner, could be an advantage of Mr. IRS. But I would have to say, just by watching him and the way I've been watching him, the way he's in the ring right now, I'd have to say that, yes, the kid's in trouble.
Could you care to repeat that, please?
Well, no.
I see.
Is it the one? It's not. I don't know if it's this pay-per-view. Is it the one where he goes, "I can't believe the kid made it this pay-per-view. It's 7:30. It's way past his bedtime."
No, that's not you. When he's coming down the aisle, Bobby Heenan says something along the lines of, "This is a first for the 1-2-3 kid," and Vince goes, "Yes, it's his first pay-per-view for the young man." It's like, and then Bobby Heenan goes, "No, it's his first night up after 8:00."
But then they have IRS kick out the moonsault.
They do, yes. I've put down here, IRS kicks out the moonsault.
Which seems
IRS
a bit daft.
clotheslines kid to win, even though the kid kicks out at 3.
Yeah.
The write-off.
He kicks out about.
Oh, that's a write-off.
Hey.
You did it.
He kicks out at 2.9, but he still count it. He
it.
so kicks out of that at the last second. But
is it worth the clothesline bit just to get the brain scan?
Is it the 1044 or something? Is that right?
Yeah.
It's some obscure American tax joke that no one else in the world's going to get.
Yeah. What he does is his arms extended here, his body's here, which makes a 4. He lands. Wait a minute, that's a 1040 for him. Huh, he just wrote him off.
I see.
And it's like, and the brain scan takes about 2 minutes to actually appear on screen.
Yeah.
And so at the one point, Heenan has to go, "Yeah, the brain scans, it's working a little slow tonight, but." But anyway,
it's a filler match, isn't it? It's nothing or anything.
It's just filler, and essentially the kid gets demolished.
You'd have thought they'd have put him up with IRS though. But I guess IRS is now coming out of the tag team, and they kind of want to build him up a bit more.
I suppose
he's
maybe
the next in line for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Well, once Ramon wins it anyway.
Yeah, but we're on to the Beige Twins.
Oh God, the beige mullets.
Their mullets like the same colour as their shirts. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like what do they dress like in Canada?
Like that, obviously, with cowboy suits.
But anyway, wasn't it Brett that once said that Bruce was a better wrestler than Owen, or am I dreaming that?
Sure, he did.
I'm standing by with Bruce and Owen Hart. Stu and Helen Hart were supposed to be in attendance tonight. Bruce, where are they?
My dad just got out of hospital. He had major reconstructive knee surgery after an accident that happened down here a couple of weeks ago involving that idiot Jerry Lawler.
He once said, "Oh, people think Owen's really good, but Bruce was actually better than him."
Well, Bruce was an arse from what I hear some of the stories.
Yeah, so, oh well.
I'll quickly tell you a Bruce story just very quickly.
Go on.
Do you remember a pay-per-view I'm sure we'll get to, Canadian Stampede?
Yes, I want to do Canadian Stampede at one stage, definitely.
Well, there was a rumour that Brett, had the Hart Foundation and Brian Pillman and Bulldog and all the rest of them. He wanted Bruce to come in and maybe compete for the Cruiserweight title that was just coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So he was pitching the idea to Vince that that's what he wants to do. So anyway, during the match at the end, when the pinfall happens and all the Hart Foundation and the family, I think, all run in the ring, the idiot apparently punches Austin in the kidneys as hard as he can for like no reason. And then Vince is like, nope, he's not working here. So
Way to go.
Brett says in his book he doesn't know why. I don't know why he did it, but yeah, I don't think Austin was too pleased with it.
Bruce.
Is that another chapter in Bret Hart's book that can be surmised with "My brother's a bit of an idiot"?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler, isn't it, for the undisputed kingship?
Yeah, Bret takes ages coming through the curtain to the point where I think the crowd actually think it's some kind of ruse and he's not coming.
But that's fine though, because we're listening to the best Bret Hart music.
This place is ready to go. Electric. About to come down the aisle from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Why don't you see the Hitman Bret Hart?
That was his brother, Bruce.
Of the ring. Bret. The Hitman Bret Hart has been waiting for this opportunity to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, he is the undisputed king of the ring. What the block? Oh, here comes the chicken.
But then, and also during that whole period, you get Bobby Heenan just slagging the Hearts as much as possible.
It is quite funny, yeah.
Tearing chunks out of them.
Yep.
Which is great. And then you get Jerry Lawler comes out on crutches and then proceeds to tear more chunks out of them.
Yep. Because he's... what is it? What is the story that Jerry Lawler... Once Todd Pettengill once again rushes down the aisle and goes, "Jerry Lawler, what is going on?" As if he's like a teacher or something.
Was it a 20 car pileup?
It changes. It starts off as 15 when Lawler says it. Then Heenan says it was 18. And then when Lawler says it again, it's gone to 20.
And as I was pulling up I-75 out here, a little old blue-haired lady who should have had her license revoked about 50 years ago pulled out in front of me, and she caused about a 10-car pileup.
Must have been Helen Hart.
This is the biggest ripoff I've seen in a long time. I didn't hear about any accident.
I was there. I saw it. I'll tell you in a moment. I'll tell you the whole story in a moment. You want to hear about Jerry Lawler? You want me to tell you what happened? He pulled off Interstate 75. There was a fiery wreck, about 18, 19 cars. He crawled out of the wreckage, made it to a school bus full of 45 kids.
He what?
And he's here. He made it here. And bought him hamburgers before he went to the match. What a man Jerry Lawler is.
Most wrestlers could, especially on the roster, the main WWE wrestler could do with watching this and just seeing how like a proper heel works. Like Lawler's face coming down the ramp with that kind of concerned look on his face.
Yeah.
Trying to get sympathy from the crowd is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And then like the whole promo where he just like simultaneously slices off the Hearts, Detroit, the people in the audience, people at home, everybody in one go.
He's going about Lawler blames his Detroit-made car for the accident because it had no brakes.
Yeah, nothing works because it's made in Detroit.
Yep.
Old lady came out. She comes from Detroit.
Blue hair or something, doesn't he? I'm sure you mentioned blue hair at one point.
Yeah, this is brilliant. It's like heel Jerry Lawler is fantastic, and right here he just kind of shows like all of his like how good his work is as a heel.
It'd be better though. Right, watching the whole, having done the plugging the Conquistabores thing I'm doing as well with a blog. Well, I've just finished watching his whole matches with, his match with Jake the Snake, with the whole alcoholism thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sometimes a bit of a pain in the arse, and the Mark Henry match at Mind Games as well.
Yeah.
And you just kind of wish that, Jerry Lawler would just fucking wrestle.
They'll put him in there against proper people. I mean, they put him in there against Warrior and Mark Henry, like you say. It's like, these are massive guys. He's not really going to have any sort of match against them, other than cheating.
Yeah, but that's fine. Cheat, that's fine. But actually wrestle?
No, he just
don't have
wanders
all
around
these
and
shenanigans
strokes
at the
stuff.
start.
Yeah.
It's just like, as soon as you see Jerry Lawler on a card about this time in the 90s, you were like kind of going, oh, jeez, it's just going to be bloody, fanny.
But isn't it worth it to get out the substitute wrestler of Heel Doink?
Heel Doink was cool.
Court Jester.
It's Court Jester. Evil Doink has got the freakiest music.
Yeah, it's
Boom, 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 boom. And then, you think, oh, he's evil. Then he throws a bucket of water on Bruce Hart, and you think, you know what? He's all right.
I love that.
yeah, you know what? That's all right. We can live with that.
He's the right guy, him. He gets him properly that water, doesn't he? He probably covers him.
He does.
He's like,
Bruce Hart seems genuinely angry.
Next time I get in that ring, I'm going to hit whichever wrestler I see next. That's how angry he was. 4 years later, here you go.
Here's Stone Cold.
That's for Doink. Bang.
I've put down here, the bell rings, and then Bruce punches Doink in full view of the ref. No DQ.
Yeah, this match.
I think was it Bill Alfonso from WCW?
Just about to say, Al, I was like going to go, does anyone know who the referee was for this match? It is Bill Alfonso, the manager of Sabu and RVD in ECW's heyday.
This match is like, the way this one goes, because is it an ODQ match? I'm not sure if they would kind of say it or not.
No, they never say it.
No, it's not supposed to be, I don't think.
Yeah, because I think at one point, spoilers, Jerry Lawler's not really injured. And
really?
He whacks Bret Hart with the crutch, like properly hits him a few times with it in full view of the ref.
It's when Bret Hart's got the sharpshooter locked in.
Yeah.
After Doink puts on the stump puller. What sort of submission move is a stump puller?
Oh yeah, he's got his legs over either Bret's shoulders and then pulls his leg up.
That's his finisher of the stump puller, that one, yeah.
Okay.
But then he tries to sneak in a bit of the crutch into the ring and he's like telling the crowd to shush.
Yeah, I remember that.
But you hit him in full view of the crowd just now. You know what this match feels like?
Go on.
This feels like an Attitude Era match. With all these shenanigans going on and run-ins, and there's about 15 refs hanging around at one point, and the people are trying to get everybody out of the ring and stuff. It feels like, if you swapped Jerry Lawler for Vince McMahon and Bret Hart for Steve Austin.
I suppose, yeah, I know what you mean.
Doink the clown for somebody.
For somebody.
There's more story going on than actual wrestling.
Yeah, this is shenanigans is what I wrote down.
Yeah, I've wrote shenanigans as well.
There's all these shenanigans going on, so it's like, it feels like, you'd be watching this like 3 years later on Raw or something.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining in its own way.
Jack Tunney comes out next, doesn't he?
Oh,
yeah, he does. He does. And forces Lawler to wrestle. Otherwise, he will be banned for life.
Nothing. Don't talk to your two ugly brothers. Wait. There's Jack Tunney, president of the WWF. Wait a minute, Jack Tunney is having words with Jerry Lawler. Jack Tunney is having a conversation with the ring announcer, Howard Finkel. We're going to get some instruction here.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I have just been told by World Wrestling Federation President Jack Tunney that if Jerry the King Lawler does not come back into the ring to wrestle Bret Hart, he will be banned from the World Wrestling Federation for life.
Which is a bit harsh.
It's a bit harsh.
Well, no, he's been calling Bret all these names and all his family. He needs to get in that ring and get his comeuppance, not coward out with his fake leg injury.
Yeah.
No.
Also, I didn't get as well. There's at one point where Lawler's basically just smashing Bret Hart with the crutch, and the refs are trying to stop Owen and Bruce from getting into the ring.
Yeah,
and it's like, why are you stopping them?
Bruce Hart does. Yeah,
Bruce has got a reputation for.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's kidney puncher Bruce Hart over there. Don't let him anywhere near this.
Never mind the fact that Jerry Lawler is pounding this guy with a metal crutch. Stop him getting in the ring immediately, please.
You get the whole thing of Brett not letting go of the sharpshooter, basically.
But it's on there for a long time, isn't it?
It feels like 3 weeks.
I've got a story about it.
Oh,
God. Is this from Bret Hart's book?
It's from Bret Hart's book. Apparently, at the King of the Ring, you know, when he won and then Jerry Lawler hit him with the scepter or the throne or whatever afterwards.
Yeah.
He felt that Jerry did unnecessary force. So this was Bret Hart's payback by quite unprofessionally keeping him in the sharpshooter and applying the hold quite hard, quite stiffly. And the majority of pain on Jerry Lawler's face is real.
Oh, nice.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Is that why they do the double straps down bit where they both take their straps down? Because the heat between them is so great, it cannot be contained by straps.
No, it needs to be naked from the waist up.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, it's how all good men fight.
Yeah. So it's a weird one because you got like the first half of the match with Doink, because Matt Bourne Doink was actually really good.
He was, that's what people forget. For all the ridiculously stupid gimmick it was, Matt Bourne was a really...
He did it so well as like a heel Doink. Like he even sticks on an STF at one point, doesn't he? Towards the end of the match, his bit of the match. Sorry,
he applies it better than Cena does.
Yeah. And then you get like the kind of crazy Jerry Lawler hitting people with stuff, but it's not a no DQ match. But I don't know what it is. And then you get them bonkers finish, and like a kind of almost like a dusty finish with Bret Hart being disqualified.
For not releasing the hold,
For not releasing the hold, which
and then you get the kind of the great image of Jerry Lawler being stretchered out, his arm aloft.
Yeah, he just puts it up before he goes through the curtain, doesn't he? Like,
Bruce,
the winner.
Bruce still attacks him.
Yeah. Going for the kidneys.
Bruce Hart, eh?
Yeah.
Damn Bruce Hart.
Kidney puncher Bruce Hart.
It's a weird match, that one.
It's just weird. It's
a weird match.
It goes on. It's one of those ones that goes on forever and doesn't really get a lot done.
Well, it's
not like the Attitude Era matches.
It's supposed to go on longer, but Jerry Lawler gets done for some made-up rape charge, so he they're supposed to go on to the Survivor Series, but they can't. But the charges all dropped because they found out it's all made up. And
is that why? Because I started watching Survivor Series '93, and by that point he's like Hart's feuding with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's why it makes no sense to me that when I watched it that Shawn Michaels had knights. I thought I don't see the connection, but it was supposed to be Jerry Lawler with these knights.
There you go.
What was supposed to be in the match, and then we've got to wait this feud rumbles on until about '95.
It does, the
Kiss My Foot
foot match at King of the Ring.
Yeah, but the good thing to come out of it is you get the Owen Hart heel turn, don't you? Because it's that Survivor Series. Owen's the only one that gets eliminated.
Survivor Series is when it starts. Yeah,
there's no more Barry Harwood fighting for him.
No.
Because I totally forgot. When you got Owen kind of going, yeah, my brother's going to beat Jerry Lawler to a pulp, you're kind of thinking, give it a year. Give it a year, mate.
See what happens.
And then we'll see.
But we've got more important things to talk about next.
Oh, are we on to the best wrestler ever, no?
Ludwig Borger promo.
Yeah.
It is actually, to be fair to him, genuinely good.
Ludwig Borger earlier today had some rather salient comments as it relates to America and Detroit.
I'm going to show you all exactly where Lex Luger is going to try to win the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Right here in the middle of the American dream. Well, keep on dreaming, Lex Luger, because if this is what you stand up for, if this is what you're proud of, these crumbling buildings, this filth, this pollution, and I bet the Lex Express never stopped here on its way to SummerSlam. So Lex Luger, look at this. This building is crumbling like America is crumbling because you American high school dropouts are signing this country away welfare check by welfare check. And you people call this the land of opportunities? Well, I'm gonna take my opportunity to show all you so-called American wrestlers and Marty Jannetty tonight at SummerSlam what Ludwig Borger is all about.
He's good. Do you want a Ludwig Borger fact?
Go on.
I've got one, but it might be the same fact. You go first.
I'll go first. He was in Die Hard 3.
That was my fact.
Hey!
Yeah, Die with a Vengeance. Ludwig Borger shows up as one of the terrorists described as a policeman.
He is.
That takes the suitcase bomb off Samuel L. Jackson in Wall Street.
That's the best shot to see him in when then Samuel L. Jackson hands the briefcase over to the guy. He's in it's a good shot of him in the background there. Yeah. I don't think he actually got a speaking line in the whole thing.
No, he does, because he leaves it on the pavement.
Is he the one who's going to go put in the boot and he goes, some kid might find it, no?
Yeah, he says, I'm not going in the car with that. And the guy says, but some kids. So I think that part there was probably better than his match with Mighty Jannetty.
Sadly, he's passed away, Ludwig Borger.
He has. He's no longer with us. Yeah. Sadly. Do you not think that Ludwig Borger is basically Rusev? 22 years early.
A little bit.
It's the same idea.
I read a quote from when Ludwig Borger died. Jim Ross kind of came out and said, "Yeah, he's a bit of a prick." I said, "Whoa, you must have been a bit of a prick."
Whoa. Yeah, Jannetty gets no offence at all.
As it should be.
They get killed.
There's rumours he upset someone backstage to basically get annihilated.
Wouldn't surprise me.
He's just won the Intercontinental title. Him and Michaels had some brilliant matches, and he lost it back to Michaels. And then he's for some reason getting absolutely steamrolled.
Was that because he was on his booze again?
It could be. I mean, that guy's been sacked more times than any other wrestler, I think.
No, yeah, Ludwig Borger was good. I liked him.
Do we know the story that I think it was the Iron Sheik tells it about Jannetty and Michaels trying to hide girls in the hotel rooms?
As if the sexy boy would do that, would he?
Yeah. Well, apparently they had this whole thing of like they're all staying in a hotel after a show, and Vince was apparently walking around the bit trying to basically check on behaviour and all this kind of jazz. Jannetty and Michaels had got 4 lassies, taking them back to the hotel room, but they have to stash them somewhere. And basically say, just wait here just for now. And then, I had to basically go up to their room and it was, oh no, we're behaving here, Vince, it's all okay. Vince goes away and then they can basically go downstairs, pick up the lassies and then, doing the dirties kind of thing. But Iron Sheik apparently ended up giving them loads of cocaine. While they were hiding in the room, just saying, "Here, girl, take these, these," and they ended up basically getting absolutely shot off their faces on coke by the time Shawn and Marty actually got to them. So there was no love action that night because they were totally off their tits.
Wow. Iron Sheik's crazy.
And he was there kind of going, what do you do? What do you do? I give them the drugs. I look after them for you. You say look after them. I give them drugs. I think it was Mike Jannetty told this story on some podcast that I was listening to, and he's like kind of going, no, we didn't mean that. Look after them. But what do you say, Marty? Why you say, Marty? Why?
I'm sure there's some story. I'm sure it was Roddy Piper saying he was crossing the Canadian border with the Iron Sheik, and it turned out he had loads of drugs in his pocket. Cocaine and stuff.
Nice.
Oh boy. But we need to talk about now the greatest match on the card. Possibly the greatest match of the year. Possibly the greatest match of all time. Possibly the greatest feud of all time.
One question before that.
Yeah.
What was the equivalent WCW event this month? In this time?
Ooh,
93.
Or Roundabout Survivor Series, rather. Because there's a bit, they plug Survivor Series, and Vince looks straight into the camera and says, don't be fooled by any other event that comes close to Survivor Series.
There's no doubt, Bobby Heenan, we all are enjoying SummerSlam. We do invite you to join us Thanksgiving Eve for the Thanksgiving pay-per-view tradition here in the WWF Survivor Series.
It's not Thanksgiving night, right?
Thanksgiving
Eve. The hottest pay-per-view going.
And don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen, by anything that comes close to the Survivor Series. There is nothing coming close to it. And this year we return to tag team elimination competition.
Well, Starrcade used to be around that time.
Yeah, I was thinking, what the hell are WCW doing at that time? Because it's obviously a WCW pop in disguise.
They've got nothing in November at all.
Well, they're not.
Is it Starrcade's December now?
Halloween Havoc in October, then Starrcade in December.
Weird. I thought they would have something.
But they actually make a point of saying it's got proper Survivor Series matches, don't they? They make a point of saying that.
Yeah, it's Survivor Series elimination tag.
Yeah.
Not like last year's 92, which was full of coffin matches and nightstick matches and whatever else. Just a little bit, quick note on Mr. Borger before we move on.
Okay.
I found it bizarre. Was Luger using the rack interview at this time? Because obviously Borger...
I think Luger was using the elbow as the finisher.
No, he's still using the forearm, the running forearm, isn't he?
Because he would use the rack eventually in WWE.
He would, yeah.
Borgo lasted like he was gone by the next year, wasn't he? Because he had like an ankle injury and
he was gone by January.
Yeah, so he's it's a brief little run in the company.
Yeah,
he's out again. So
obviously they were building up to a Borgo Luger feud at one point. There's even rumors that could have been the main event for WrestleMania 10, which would have been brilliant.
Fantastic.
Well, we'll get to right at the end of the pay-per-view or the broadcast after the title match.
I'll tell you what should have been the main event of WrestleMania 10 is Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker.
No, because we already had it stinking out the place at WrestleMania 9. It's a good job there was a roof on that venue. Otherwise, the stench would still been there.
Undertaker didn't beat him, really. Really, that was a hollow victory. The Giant Gonzalez broke the streak, really. He's the best wrestler ever.
Yeah. Because we've got now the Rest in Peace match, which is no clarification as to what a Rest in Peace match is at this point.
It's just a no DQ match.
I think it means it's got to be a really poor match. I think that's what Rest in Peace stands for.
Yeah, you'll wish you were resting in peace.
Fair play, Giant Gonzalez. He's a bit unsteady on his feet, isn't he? He's a bit
like Barbie on ice or something, isn't he?
Terrible.
It's not quite Giant Carly bad when you kind of fear for his safety just walking to the ring.
He's so bad. He's amazing.
And that outfit.
Shall I tell my Jim Ross story now? There was one. He was in WCW beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
El Gigante.
Giant Gonzalez as El Gigante. Yeah. And he was due to have a feud with Ric Flair. And yes.
Classic.
At one point on the WCW programming, Jim Ross has to interview El Gigante about his feud with Ric Flair. And bear in mind how Jim Ross is a tall enough guy, but bear in mind how tall El Gigante, Giant Gonzalez, is.
8 feet tall.
Yep. So there's a bit where Jim Ross is literally holding this microphone up to interview ringside to interview El Gigante, and Jim Ross is going, "So El Gigante, you've been challenging Ric Flair, a man who's travelled America and the world, defending the NWA World Title. He's been multiple world champion. What exactly are you going to do? What's your tactics for taking down such a skilled opponent?" And he holds the microphone up, and all he gets is, "Flair, I'll kill you." Nothing else. So he goes, and then apparently Jim Ross is going, "Oh God, we're on live television here, right? I'm going to have to fill up the time." So you're he's hyping up. He's going, you're 7 foot 10 inches tall. You're this much pounds. This kind of stuff. Is like kind of going, Flair's never met a guy like you. You're from Argentina. You're 40 out of Argentina. You come to America. It's like going, so what exactly, is the world title your ultimate aim when you got into wrestling? Flair, kill you.
Didn't Giant Gonzalez talk? Because obviously he was with
I don't think
Implement, wasn't he?
I think he just went raw into
It's the famous, the brilliant line of just this Undertaker, Undertaker.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
That's his interviews, yeah.
But it's weird, like you kind of get in this match, you get two. Basically, you've got two dodgy gimmicks, but one's been done perfectly, and shows
one's a guy with a furry
gimmick.
crotch, yes.
Yeah, with a furry, aye.
And then you got Giant Gonzalez, who's with his rather limited moveset, I think.
One gimmick's been done perfectly, and then you've got the Undertaker. That's what you should have said.
Oh no. Yeah, I like the fact at the start of the match though, Taker as a face jumps the bell and attacks him straight away.
Well, he's angry. Rest in peace match,
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is the Rest in Peace match.
Now this is going to be interesting.
The rules are simple. There will be no disqualification.
Oh no.
There will be no countdown.
Oh no.
But there will be a decisive winner.
Gonzalez only knows a big boot, a club with his forearm, and an Irish whip. That's it.
He is quite limited, really, isn't he?
Isn't that 2 moves more than WrestleMania 9, though?
Probably, yeah. But apart from a body
so
slam,
hard.
He pops a body slam at one point.
It must be so hard, though, as a wrestler, to try and think, how do I work with this?
You must look at it and kind of go, what am I going to do?
I mean, you see, videos of wrestlers in Japan having matches with mops and stuff.
Yeah,
but the problem is, Gonzalez is less mobile than a mop.
Yeah, and he's less charisma.
He can't do anything in it. It's all
Doesn't he selling involve looking like he's swimming through treacle?
Pretty much, yeah.
He waves the arm and kind of goes, whoa. It's like he's been told, right, you're on the deck of the Starship Enterprise, and they've just been hit by an asteroid.
Just go like that.
Just flop yourself around like that.
And of course, Bobby Heenan brings out the whole "he earned it" joke as his tradition in an Undertaker match.
I was like, did every heel start a feud with the Undertaker by nicking the urn?
Giant Gonzalez against the Undertaker. Yes, someone will rest in peace as a result of this matchup. And there, in the clutches of Harvey Whippleman, the urn that Harvey was instrumental in stealing from the Undertaker.
No. He earned it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right.
Didn't your man, Mr. Hughes did, didn't he?
Mr. Hughes did it.
Mr. Hughes did.
Yep.
Did someone turn it into chains? Gold chains or something?
Did Ted DiBiase do it before SummerSlam 94, or was that...
the Faker ticket, didn't he? The Undertaker.
Yeah. But I've got down here, Taker fairly clatters into the stairs with his knees.
Yeah.
At one point. That looks sore. And then Paul Bearer enters, thank God.
With a wreath.
With a wreath, a black wreath. Oh, yeah.
And then I've written down for the finish, Clothesline City, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Clothesline City. Yeah, a clothesline wins it. A clothesline from the top of the rope wins it.
Top rope. Ooh,
Not an old school kind of like arm bar and crashing down the shoulder. No. Certainly not a tombstone.
Yeah.
You ain't going to be tombstoning that guy any soon. Fair enough. You're not going to be choke slamming him. I suppose when you think about it, what else are you going to do?
You can't do anything with it, can you? Exactly. No. What can you do? He's such a big guy.
Yeah, he's such a huge guy.
There's nothing you can do with him.
What the hell do you do?
And then at the end, Vince goes, and now we know what a rest in peace match is.
Now we know what a rest in peace match is.
Shite, yeah.
Yes, it would have been good to know that from the start, Vince, but thanks anyway.
No, don't. And then we get the Gonzalez face turn.
Yeah. I was like, is this the Gonzalez face turn?
But you know what? Though?
Man with glasses.
You know what, though, Cameron?
Go on.
He can't even chokeslam Harvey Whippleman.
No, I know.
He gets him about 2 feet off the ground, and that's because Harvey jumps.
Well, where was Papa Shango to make the save, eh?
I don't know.
He was that with his hoe tree, wasn't he?
I've got a little note on here, by the way, that I'll appreciate this. It's like, do you not think that both Jim Cornette and Harvey Whippleman go to the same optician?
Maybe it's the same pair of glasses. You never see them in the same room, do you?
Oh, think of the prescription, though, Phil. Think of the prescription.
Sorry, I'm speaking to professionals here, aren't I? I do apologise.
You're speaking to a professional team here.
Yeah. It's a great promo, isn't it, from Cornette when they do him and Yokozuna?
Oh, that is amazing. This is
really good.
That's what comes up next, isn't it?
Can we just rewind Giant Gonzalez 2 seconds?
Go on.
His first term was supposed to go somewhere.
I'm sure it was.
He was supposed to, I'm going to upset you by knowing what feud you missed out on because he got injured. Well, but apparently he was supposed to go on to fight Adam Bomb. I mean, what 5-star classics would have come out of that one?
You know what? I reckon Adam Bomb could have powerbombed him. I really do.
Well, he was powered by gamma rays or something, wasn't he?
He was the nuclear guy from 2004, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Essentially his gimmick.
Pretty much.
Do you know how many stars that match got according to Dave Meltzer?
Negative.
None.
Got 1 star.
1? Oh, I thought it was negative numbers, definitely.
No, 1 star.
I thought it would have been negative as well. Oh, Jesus Christ, it was awful.
Awful. But we've done that now. We can get on some tag team action now.
Well, no, we've got the promo.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Joe Fuller/Fowler, whoever, interviews... Well, doesn't so much interview Yokozuna as just stick a mic in front of Jim Cornette's face and let him talk. It's incredible. It's promo gold.
Have had a night of surprises. Surprise number 1, Jerry Lawler comes out on crutches. Then another surprise, Paul Bearer shows up out of nowhere. Might the next surprise be Lex Luger takes the belt?
I'll tell you the biggest surprise, your employment. Let me tell you something right now. Lex Luger, I want you to listen good to my voice while you take a look at the last sight that you may ever see in your living life, brother. the great Yokozuna, the beast, the monster. You look in those eyes, and like I've said before, you see no pity, you see no fear, you see no compassion for his fellow man. All you see is the intention to take you, Lex Luger, and rip you limb from limb. You throw your arms up, Lex Luger, when you get in that ring, and you draw the power of all those millions of Americans that you've touched hands with all across the call to action campaign. You draw that power from all of them, Luger, and you're still going to come up short. The auto workers in Detroit, the farmers in Kansas, and the common people all across America, they're going to give you their strength. And Lex Luger, it's not going to be enough, no matter how hard you fight, to take this big man down. We've waited a long time, and now the time for talking is over. The time for action has come, and brother, the last thing that you will hear tonight at SummerSlam of '93 is this.
Bonsai!
If a picture's worth 1,000, that's 10 grand right there, Vince.
Because it must be difficult to get a character across when Jim Cornette's actually an American, yet he's representing a Japanese
he's English
guy,
spokesman.
heel, yeah.
I think that worked really well because it was a year or so till they did Camp Cornette.
Probably, yeah, I think it
Because
was.
it was obviously after the Owen heel turn, wasn't it? And he brought in Davey Boy and Owen Hart and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're now into a match where it features two future WWF Hall of Famers. Can you guess which two they are?
I thought we do have a Hall of Fame at ringside.
Afa.
Afa,
yeah.
There you go, there's two Hall of Famers.
There you go, is Luna Vachon?
Yeah, Luna's in there.
Before we get on this match, another little tidbit for you.
Go on.
This wasn't meant to be the match for SummerSlam.
Doesn't shock me. What was meant to be
You
the
reckon?
match?
It was supposed to be a mixed tag team match with Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon taking on Tatanka and Sensational Sherry.
What happened to Sherry then?
What happened to Sherry, yeah?
Well, I think...
And why would she be with Tatanka?
Well, do you not remember WrestleMania 9?
Oh, you have to remind me.
All right. Well, it was the whole thing. She aligned herself with Tatanka because that was who Michaels was feuding against at the time.
Yeah.
And I think they sort of kept it together a bit after WrestleMania 9. And then she was feuding with Luna Vachon. And now, I don't know why the match was crap. I think Luna Vachon broke a wrist in a match with her on one of the house shows. But I also think Sherry was maybe sadly into the drugs a bit at this point in time.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think with Luna's injury and Sherry not being the sort of performing the best, they decided to scrap it and just throw together the 6-man tag instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's quite serviceable. I just put a note on here saying, this is fine and all, but I'm struggling to really care.
I think the guys put a decent effort in.
Oh, it's put a decent effort, but you're sitting there kind of going, why would an Indian team with two cowboys? Which, to be fair, Bobby Heenan does bring up.
Tatanka and the Smoking Guns having your problems from the get-go.
Well, it's just like the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Indians. None of them are winners.
Yeah. He also mentions that Shawn Michaels has left the building at this point.
Yes. Is that not I was trying to think, is that not the first example of Shawn Michaels has left the building?
I'm sure he did it before that.
But it seems to take Vince by surprise. Vince is like, well, why have you mentioned that? Why should I care? Why would Shawn Michaels put that message down there? He seems to make a big thing of it.
But can they function as a unit, Bobby Heenan?
Just a moment. Thank you. Give me that message. Okay.
What are you doing?
Excuse me. Shawn Michaels has left the building.
Shawn Michaels, big deal. Shawn Michaels has left the building with the Intercontinental Championship.
That's right, with Diesel, but they've asked me to make the announcement.
I see. Thank you very much for that bit of information.
Don't mention it.
I'm sure. Maybe did he do it at WrestleMania 8? Because Shawn's on first, isn't he?
I thought he did it at WrestleMania 8, but I could be wrong.
I could, yeah. I was going to say I could be wrong as well.
But what you do see this match is like how good Bam Bam was for a big guy.
He was awesome.
Like when he lays out, Tatanka starts like tankering up,
war dancing,
and he hits him in the back head with a kick. Like, no, you don't. Bosh.
Yeah.
Down you go.
I love the is it the triple headbutt they all attempt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's for zero.
That's part of the ending, yeah, because Tatanka moves out of the way.
That's a great spot, that is. Because they do like an actual triple headbutt, like a normal headbutt, don't they? All three of them at once.
Yeah.
And then they do the one off the top rope. But that kind of like the tag team work between those is great. You know, they're like a great kind of little team.
Yeah. I've just put down here, though, would the head shrinkers gimmick actually work today? And I'm thinking probably not, because A, you'd probably think a little bit racist.
A little bit.
And then B, it's like kind of going, you have a team who take glorious joy in being battered full force in the head.
That seems a little bit incompatible with today's product.
Yes, I was going to say that would be probably.
Well, technically, I haven't got that, but they're called the Usos.
Yeah, but it's not a case of, if you batter the Usos in the head, they just don't feel it. They just go, ooh, and they just hit
You do that to their shoulders and they miss WrestleMania. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Fatu do his spot in this match? He isn't quite a lot. Whether somebody throws him face first into the mat and he just gets up straight away and super kicks them.
Yeah, he does it. Yeah,
I love that he does that spot quite often.
Yeah, he lays out Billy, doesn't he? He kills Billy Gunn with one.
It's Billy Gunn. Yeah, I was going to say there's one point where Fatu and Billy are working hella stiff early on.
Oh, they know the Attitude Era is coming.
Well, yeah, but they properly batter each other. I don't know. There's a couple of moves where you're kind of going, that was a bit forceful.
Well, Bart Gunn doesn't get his left hand in, does he? He's got a lethal left hand, that Bart.
Lethal left hand Bart Gunn, yep. Apart from when he's...
But Billy also, he gets put over the top rope towards the end. I think Bam Bam tries to put over the top rope, doesn't quite get him. So I think it's Fatu just kind of launches him straight into the ground.
Yeah.
That looks pretty brutal. But I kept getting distracted in this match because there's some guys walking across in the background with a giant thing of candy floss.
That's there all the time.
It's about 6 feet long. I don't know. I noticed it more in this match because it's like a wide shot and you see it in the background and it's about 6 feet square of just pure candy floss. I was like, what the hell's that?
Yeah, it's amazing. Have you ever been to an American sporting event?
No.
It's like, put it this way, when I went to see an NHL game, the best bit was, it was brilliant. You could order Domino's pizza to your seat.
Ooh.
The Americans do it right.
Proper Domino's pizza, and then they would deliver it to your seat.
That's how it should
be. They come in down the stairs and kind of go, well, there you go. You pay your money, off, away they go. And it's fantastic because all it took was for my dad to turn around to me and go, are you hungry? Because I am, kind of thing. And there was a guy just kind of zipped up next to us and kind of went, if you're hungry, sir, then Domino's pizza. And my dad went, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So
was he expecting a slice rather than the whole pizza?
No, and then the guy was kind of going, oh, well, what do you want? And I was kind of going, can we have a pepperoni, blah, blah, blah. My dad ordered something else, and then it was kind of going, yeah, coming right up. And literally 5 minutes later, we had full pizzas in our laps watching ice hockey. It was great.
Was that better than this match?
Yeah, for an experience, yeah. Watching the Boston Bruins play the San Jose Sharks, was amazing.
But
at the Fleet Center, which was the home of WrestleMania 14, let's not forget.
But that's not important. We've got to go out to Lex Express to meet Hank, the driver.
We have, yes, we have. Yes.
After you notice the look in his eyes when he says that he spent 2 months on that bus with Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Please kill me. Yeah.
Imagine the smell.
Just wearing all those shirts all the time, making terminally ill kids better.
Right. This guy drove Lex Luger, your number one face, around America, pushing SummerSlam. Right.
Yeah.
Doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's the moment they say, oh, you're watching SummerSlam on your monitor here. Could they not have even got a ticket?
Say hi to Hank Carter. How you doing, Hank?
Great, Joe. How you doing tonight?
Fantastic. I see you've got your monitor. You're watching SummerSlam. Having fun.
Great time. Been watching all the matches tonight. Everything's just wonderful.
All right, now you spent 2 months. You got to know the country, and you really got to know Lex Luger.
Yes, that's correct. This Lex Luger is one of the fantastic wrestlers of all times. He's such a genuine person. He's such a compassionate person, especially with the children.
Yeah, the poor bastard.
He can't leave it alone, can he?
He can
He's stuck in the Lex Express.
watching on his telly in his bus. He can.
It's in case someone steals his bus. He's worried Ludwig Borger might attack it. You see?
Yeah, Ludwig Borger might spray it with a big Finnish flag and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then Joe asks a stupid question,
which, to be fair, he marks out as a stupid question.
Yeah. Although, fair enough. It's better than Todd interviewing the toga guy in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah.
Where did you get the toga from? My mum got some fabric.
What's your name? Bruce McClure. Bruce is one of the waves in the sea of red, white, and blue out here. Where you from, Bruce?
I'm from Wyandotte, Michigan.
Get a shot of this outfit. Now, what was the inspiration for this beautiful red, white, and blue toga?
My mom went to Sears and made me a bedspread, sheets, and a pillowcase. What the heck? Make me an outfit.
You look great, my friend. USA! The crowd is going crazy. The action is hot and heavy here at SummerSlam. USA!
No, this is the thing, right? He's wearing a red, white, and blue toga. That's a toga made famous by the Romans, who are from Italy. Oh, yeah, America!
The point is, he's wearing a toga and he's patriotic. America, come on.
Jesus Christ.
Because we're into one of my favourite parts of the show now, which I'm assuming is like a massive troll. It's when we are asked to show respect for the Japanese national anthem.
At this time, would you please show some respect as Mr. Kiyotaka Suzuki sings the Japanese national anthem.
Sort of a partisan crowd here.
Of a Yankee Stadium, you might say, Bobby Heenan. That's a catchy tune. I like it. Oh, really?
Yeah, is that actually the Japanese national anthem?
I don't know. And I want to know, is the guy deliberately singing it that bad?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was so brilliantly done. If that was on purpose, that is fantastic. Because he comes out there singing the Japanese national anthem really badly.
It is awful.
And it just whips the crowd up into a frenzy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just...
They should have got Nikolai Volkov to sing it.
It's just amazing.
It's just brilliant. I really hope it was on purpose. They go, right, we haven't seen the national anthem, but he does it really badly.
Yeah.
Out of tune. And
like
everything.
They've got some guy off the street or something to do it because they go meow.
He's all over the place, isn't he?
Oh man,
it's fantastic. And then just to kind of to counteract that, you get who is it? Aaron Neville.
Aaron Neville.
Some guy.
Adrian's dad.
And he sings the shit out of the American national anthem, doesn't he?
He wobbles a bit, yeah.
He's just, but it's amazing because they kind of go, multi-platinum recording artist. And I'm like, oh no, he'll fairly belt this one out. I can, this could be proper like, the Star Spangled. It's not
proper giving it some.
Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see? By the dawn's early light, was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
One of the most stirring renditions of our national anthem ever heard.
He's pushing those notes, isn't he?
It's just terrible.
They told him the arena had to be dark for Lex Luger's entrance, so he was extended out as long as he could.
And he's out with the Macho Man as well. The Macho Man's wearing the red, white, and blue.
Oh, that makes me so sad when he turns up. It's like, listen, you were main eventing things. You were main eventing last year's SummerSlam, for God's sake. And now look what you reduced to.
The Master of Ceremony.
Master of Ceremony.
No wonder he left.
The thing is, whilst the national anthem is being sung, Earl Hebner has his hand on his chest and he's practically greeting. And I was like, going, hold on, bent ref, much. Come on, show some impartiality.
Before we start the match, can we just briefly talk about how Luger got the title shot?
Oh Jesus! This the Slam challenge.
On July the 4th for the USS Intrepid, for some reason, Mr. Fuji issued an open challenge. Anyone who could slam Yokozuna would get the title shot.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But it wasn't. It was a hip toss. Come on, we all know this.
It does look more like a hip toss, yes.
He didn't slam it, it was a hip toss.
Both Steiner brothers tried at the same time. What would have happened if they achieved that? Would we get our first triple threat match?
That would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing.
Bob Backlund tried. Crush tried. Oh, even Macho Man himself tried.
Is that this after Macho Man tried to pin Yokozuna during the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, he doesn't understand the rules. But then the helicopter would come out and Lex Luger, for no reason at all, would be wearing an American shirt.
The narcissist Lex Luger, give him his name right.
It's not the narcissist. No, he's a face now. He's a face. He's going to come out, he's going to slam Yokozuna, and that's it done. So I was just wondering, if there's any sort of, if we're walking down the street and there's any sort of lighter champions, can we just slam them and get a title shot? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Well, if that champion's manager just happens to get a big boat. And
hire out a massive US boat.
Spend an American holiday basically going, yep. Ain't no one ever going to slam this guy.
They were really, really trying to push Luger hard, didn't they?
Oh my God, it's to the point of absolute thermonuclear nausea.
We need a new Hogan. Please, we need a new Hogan.
Yeah, pretty much that's what this whole thing was based on. We need a new Hogan, we need a new Hogan.
And they picked Luger.
At one point, Vince does say, when you think of respect, you think of Lex Luger.
But he's the narcissist Lex Luger.
When he jumped ship to go to WCW.
2 years after this.
Yeah. But Yokozuna comes out first, which makes no sense. They pull the whole John Cena thing, don't they?
He's the heel, so the heel always comes out first.
The champion comes out last.
They did the same at WrestleMania 5 when Savage was the champ. They made him come out first as well. I'm sure there's other examples, but that's the one that springs to mind.
It's like all the whole thing with John Cena would come out first before CM Punk when they had their matches and stuff. Or come out last, even, sorry. No, the champion comes out last because he's the champion. That's how it works. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But then, Macho refers to him as, the next champion. Lex Luger.
Yeah, not biased much.
It is my honor and my privilege to introduce to you the next World Wrestling Federation champion.
Good luck.
Lex Luger.
There's going nuts here. A standing ovation. Or not standing.
But when he does come out, Bobby Heenan's not friends anymore, so they're not doing the whole, show me the arms. Show me the pecs.
Show me the back.
He was practically jizzing in his pants at the Royal Rumble about him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh,
not anymore. No, he's got over it. I think that was Bobby Heenan's gay phase. It's now gone.
It's now gone. So we finally end up with the total package Lex Luger and a very, very big, heavy man in the ring.
Yes.
For 20 minutes.
It's about that, yeah. It's about 20-25, I
Fair
think.
play to Yoko. I mean, he does last a fair bit, doesn't he?
Does look absolutely shattered from about halfway through onwards, though.
Yeah, from about 5 minutes in, to be
proper
fair.
sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's got that lethal nerve hold where he can have a good 10-minute rest.
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, that Japanese nerve hold.
I think the problem is you've got Lex Luger isn't the most charismatic man in the world, and he's not a ring general. He can't really. I think he works better with someone who can carry. He can carry him. His best matches are with Ric Flair. You've got Flair carrying him basically, and the same with Yoko. It's the problem we talked about with Drake Gonzalez. He's a big, big man, and there's only so much you can do with him.
Yeah.
So you kind of put those two things in the ring together, and it's not the most electrical combinations.
No, not really. No.
So they put a lot of effort in. There's all kind of shenanigans around the ring and stuff.
Yeah. They do delay and time waste a lot because obviously, the Fuji, even very early on, even before the match starts properly, Fuji's creeping up behind.
Yeah.
Going with the shenanigans.
Isn't there a bit where Yokozuna's choking out Luger with his trunk dangly bits?
Yeah, he gets one of his cords from his robe.
The ref's just there counting, even though you can blatantly see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then does he swing a chair at him? And then does the ref see that?
He swings a steel chair at him when Luger's against the guardrail, not guardrail, against the post on the outside.
And the ref sees it,
you're thinking if that had connected, it would have been instant DQ.
Yeah.
But Luger
because he misses, it's fine.
Yeah, because he misses, it's fine. So it's more fine. The contact is what gets you disqualified. The intent is fine.
Intent is fine. This one makes no sense because later on they do a whole thing of distracting the ref to get the bucket into the ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you just picked up a chair and swung it at his head just now, and that was fine.
Exactly. But if you're going to connect with it,
sorry, yeah, that's my problem. Clearly, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's just a lot of clotheslines and running into things and.
Well, it basically goes about it's the whole thing. The story actually in the match is really good. You've got your leaner all-American machine Lex Luger trying to beat this guy and obviously body slam him in the process. There's a kind of echo of Hogan Andre in this.
Yeah,
I think
permeates the whole thing.
I think Luger's a bit more leaner than he usually would be.
Yes, but they reference that on commentary. They reference that whilst Yoko bulked up, Luger went the other way.
That's what Hogan
Luger's
did,
gone for speed and agility.
Hogan
because the steroid indictment that's coming up in 2 months' time had nothing to do with Luger.
No.
It kept him leaner, yeah.
No.
Didn't do with it at all.
It then ends up, you get them battling back and forth. It then ends up with, towards the end of the match, Yoko has basically got him and he's pounding on Luger, but Luger's not quitting, even though Vince and Heenan have kind of given up on Luger.
Lex Luger, now look at this. Bye-bye, Lex. That should do it, ladies and gentlemen. Nonetheless, a gallant effort on unquestionably a real American hero. The cover for Legazac 2 and 3.
No, he didn't get him. He didn't get him. No, he didn't. He didn't get him at all. No, he didn't either.
Put him up. He got him, McMahon.
He did not. The referee was right there looking right at the shoulders.
Yeah, that's when Yoko nails him in that suplex, isn't it? Just the belly to belly on him, and they're like, "Oh no, that's it. He's done. Oh, he kicked out. Oh my god!"
Then the body slam comes.
Hip toss.
Hip lock.
Fuji gets up on the ring apron but gets battered.
Yeah.
Same with Cornette, and then there's a running forearm, which then knocks Yoko flying out through the ropes and out to the arena floor.
Yeah.
It's a count-out victory. You wouldn't know it by watching the ending.
Yeah, I have some questions at this point. Shall I read out my questions?
Go on.
Okay. Why isn't Lex trying to get him into the ring?
Or stop the referee counting or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he happy? Why is Macho celebrating?
Yeah.
Why are the faces coming out?
Exactly.
Why is there confetti? Where did those balloons come from?
Luger's won it. Lex Luger's won the match. Lex Luger has won the match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout as a result of a countdown, Lex Luger!
Lex Luger! What is the winner? Lex Luger is the victor. Lex Luger has done the
Impossible, ladies and gentlemen. Lex Luger has defeated Yokozuna.
What does this mean? Look at this. This place is going bonkers. Will somebody come and help the champion?
As Bobby Heenan says, Yoko was still the champ, so why are they lifting him up?
Yeah, exactly. I just don't get it. It's like he's beating him. Great. Like, wouldn't it have been if you were going to extend this feud anymore and you wanted to get a match, say you want to get your title match at Survivor Series down completely? Would you not? Because I mean, Yoko sells this forever.
Yeah,
He's
on the
still
floor.
flat on his back, on the floor, on
He's
the
just
outside.
gassed. He's still
10,
asleep.
15 minutes later, probably.
Physically can't move.
But would you not have had Yoko get in, do the celebration, all this kind of stuff? Would you not have then had Yokozuna get in, grab Luger, slam him on the deck, then banzai him.
Yeah, something like that.
And then just walk out, hold the belt aloft like that, walk out with Jim Cornette and Fuji. The place would have just gone thermonuclear booing
Yeah.
and heat.
Or have like Yoko dodge the elbow by rolling out the ring and just grabbing the belt and walking.
No, so don't even do that. Still have the count out victory, right?
Yeah.
But instead of all this parading around,
just have Yoko ruin it.
Even during that, let him do a little bit of that, but on his own. Don't have any of the faces come down, right?
Or Bruce Hart.
Or Bruce Hart, no. And then
punch me in the kidneys.
But then then have Yoko just basically get up, and whilst Luger's distracted by all this celebration, I've got a victory, blah 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 blah. Just have literally Yoko pick him up, belly to belly him in the corner, drag him across to the ropes, and then have him banzai him.
Yeah.
Banzai him twice.
Like he did with Hulk Hogan when he killed Hulkamania.
I think if they did that, I've got a sneaky suspicion. Would the crowd chant for Hogan?
No.
It's a tricky one.
Lex Luger will get his rematch, says Vince. Yes, eventually, but not right away. And then it's like, Lex Luger will be WWF champion. Never did.
But it was supposed to be a one-shot only deal. That was the thing about it.
Yeah, they do say, don't they? It's like his one opportunity and stuff.
Yeah, but then obviously the Royal Rumble comes into play.
Yeah.
But this special dispensation, they do address that actually. Strangely, in the following logic, that plot point is addressed come the Royal Rumble. They don't just forget about it.
That's all right then. That's how it should work.
Yeah. I did read an interview with Lex where he talks about, they ask him why he didn't win the SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
And he does say that, like, when it became clear he was going to win, some people threatened to leave the company.
Ooh.
And I'm not sure who it would be, because like people said, it will be the Click, but the Click wasn't really there in '93, was it? It wasn't until
not yet.
about a year or so later that they kind of started to get their power.
I think Bret Hart might have been on that list.
Yeah, the only people I can think of, like Bret Hart, maybe The Undertaker, but they're the only ones of any kind of like, Hogan's gone by this point. Like, who else is up there at like the top of the company apart from Bret and the Taker? There's no other big faces apart from Scott Hall, maybe. But
Taker's still very much in the kind of novelty gimmick arena.
Yeah,
he's not like, because when you think about it, he won it against Hogan briefly.
Yeah.
But then didn't get it again until WrestleMania 13.
Yeah. Because doesn't he take some time out, like recover from some injuries or something?
Yeah, it was when he got buried alive. Well, I'm sorry, you put in the casket at Royal Rumble, wasn't it? And the terrible
94.
flying angle and all the rest of it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if it would be him. So it must have been Bret Hart. That's the only one, to narrow it down.
Well, I'm just going to recite another piece from Bret Hart's book.
Oh, here we go.
I think I've recited it before, but we'll do it again. According to Bret Hart's book, the main event was supposed to be Bret Hart versus Hogan for this SummerSlam, with Hogan putting the title onto him. But I'm not convinced. Even though Bret Hart insists there was pictures taken, and somewhere in the world there exist pictures of Bret Hart having a tug of war with Hogan over the belt.
Oh, for the poster, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just an idea between Vince and Hogan just to pretend Bret's getting there, just to shut his ego up. I honestly think they went to all this bother, doing the whole photo shoot and everything, just to shut Bret Hart up.
Yeah,
with no
I think that's the
intentions.
problem with this. There's so many political things swirling around this. You've got the whole thing with Hogan leaving after the King of the Ring. You've got Bret Hart winning the belt. You've got like all this kind of stuff swirling around, and that just leaves Lex Luger in the middle, celebrating a count-out victory.
Yeah, because if you read Bret Hart's book, and the DVD picks it up a lot, is he just loves himself, and he thinks because he's so good, he should be the one in the main event. He should be the one win the title, like for every match, every pay-per-view. And that much makes sense what you said about somebody threatening to leave. It does sound very much like it would be like, what you put the title in for, I'm far better.
Yeah, well, it's like, why have you got me? Why have you got me feuding with Jerry Lawler when I should be having the belt?
So yeah, that probably makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think this was Luger's kind of high watermark, because after this he co-won the Rumble.
Yeah,
and then he was in WrestleMania 10 but didn't win. But then by, was it 95 he's gone? Then he's off to WWE again, isn't he? By the start of the Attitude Era now.
Yeah, he never really recovered from this loss, really, to be honest with you.
They should have kept him heel, I think. That was the problem.
Built him up so much for this one moment, and of course it was an anticlimax because he didn't win the title, and then he never really recovered.
Isn't it? Because there's no... How can you celebrate a count-out victory? Well, clearly with an amazing song, according to this pay-per-view.
See
Oh yes.
When you see him on that bus, he lived the gimmick on that bus. Like, every shirt he wears has got Stars and Stripes on it. Do you notice that?
They released that on the anthology discs. That song on the anthology music thing. That song made the discs.
Oh God!
It's worth it because it's a classic song. Come on, boys.
Oh, I quite like it.
Yeah, and then we get the final promo of the match, which is kind of punctuated by Tatanka in a towel.
Now, I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't remember this ever being on the original Sky broadcast. I've read about it today, and I've seen a still of it, but I don't remember this promo at all. Is it on the network version?
Yes,
it's on the network. Yeah, it's on the network.
Right,
it's right at the very. You have to sit through the. Or you can obviously fast forward it. The music video for.
Why would you fast forward it?
Hero.
The music video didn't make it on the anthology, the SummerSlam anthology.
No, it's obvious that this has ended like 5 minutes before it was supposed to.
Right.
Because they fill it with the bloody video, and then you get the whole thing of Luger's interviewed in the locker room. Tatanka's got a towel on for some reason.
Yeah.
And then they get Ludwig Borga walking in.
Just walks in for no reason.
Lex Luger, I'm here in your locker room to tell you that I am not impressed with you. And I am not impressed with your friends either. And I'm certainly not impressed about the country you stand up for. Now let me tell you something. If you ever step in the ring with Ludwig Borga, I will crush you like America is crumbling, piece by piece. And I see you as the backbone of America. And if you ever step in the ring with me, I will break it.
Not impressed with this shitty count-out win,
yes,
yeah.
I will crumble you like your country is crumbling. And then he buggers off.
Yeah,
he seems to be obsessed with the word crumble, doesn't he?
He does. Maybe he just literally likes apple crumble.
Yeah.
Rhubarb crumble.
He probably just likes, a good, decent crumble. Like a good rhubarb crumble.
Vince's gimmick that he was going to be some sort of pie man from Finland. Yeah. He would cook a different crumble for every wrestler.
It's just, there's nothing really outstanding about it, is there?
They should have finished it off by him using that bomb from Die Hard with a Vengeance and put it on the Lex Express. That's how they should have ended it.
If this was Attitude Era, Yoko would have blown up the Lex Express, wouldn't he? That's how it would have worked.
He would have just taken literally like a massive, probably Japanese-made crane or something like that, and smashed it right into the side of Lex Express and shoved it off a building. And then
he would have got Godzilla to eat it or something, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes. Oh God, can you imagine that? That would have been amazing. Oh,
but
Christ.
There's no it's weird. It's a weird pay-per-view because it builds to this big moment at the end, and then you kind of get it, but it doesn't happen.
I enjoy the pay-per-view except the main event. That's for me the thing I don't really enjoy as much. I think it's nothing too special throughout the show, but it's watchable, it's enjoyable. But the main event seems to build to nothing. I think that's the whole.
Yeah, it just kind of goes. It builds up to this such a massive crescendo, and then just kind of goes.
Count out.
Count out.
The celebration at the end is just so over the top for nothing.
For what is a count out victory.
We clearly went, well, we've got the balloons in. We may as well celebrate. I know you've not got the belt and stuff, but let's just have a little bit of a thing in the ring. But the crowd are cheering, though, aren't they? There must be a dark crowd or something.
Whipped up into this nationalistic frenzy. It's just,
they beat the Japanese Menace.
Yeah, they've beaten the Japanese Menace by count out.
Yeah, which is, like as in history itself.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So where did we put this on the list then?
It's better than World War III. But not by much.
Is it better than the 88 Royal Rumble?
89
Royal Rumble.
89 Royal Rumble, sorry.
Not for me.
I'd probably say yes.
Of course you would.
So, yeah, I put those two would be below it.
So it's going to be 6th on the list now after King of the Ring 93?
Something like that. I can't even remember what the league table
looks like. It's between King of the Ring 93 and after Royal Rumble 89.
Yeah, go on with that. Yeah.
At
least there's some decent matches in King of the Ring 93. You got your Brett Perfect and...
Yeah. Because the perfect match in this one isn't as good as that one. I don't think there's a match on this card as good as that one. So
you've got to watch the show for Giant Gonzalez and Ludwig Borger. I mean, that sells the show alone.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You can just forget all about that. It's crap.
clearly not a good Giant Gonzalez fan. Jesus.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's enjoyable. I'm telling you.
No, it's not enjoyable at all. I don't want to watch anything with bloody Giant Gonzalez in it.
If they ever had a match together, imagine that. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. No.
Well, that was a good triple threat podcast.
That was a very good triple threat podcast. I enjoyed that. Sad that Ewan can't be here, but...
Who can't be here?
Sad that Ewan can't be here.
Who's that?
Give over.
Do you not know to whom you are referring?
Tell him we've replaced him with a Giant Gonzalez for next podcast. Podcast.
So the next podcast, we're thinking we're going to do a special one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like a theme, about Giant Gonzalez's best matches.
Well, that'll be a very quick one. It'll only be for 5 minutes.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure I could pad it.
Like half an hour on his giant axe handle, half an hour on his clothesline, half an hour on his big boot.
No.
Half an hour on his furry crotch. I saw it.
Yeah.
It's furry crotch.
And don't forget his finisher. Who remembers his finisher?
What was his finisher?
Of a chloroform rag.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, God.
The deadly chloroform rag.
A deadly chloroform rag.
How did this guy never get over more? I'll never know.
Because he was rubbish. He was utterly terrible, Al. That's why.
You're such a negative Nancy, Cameron.
I know, but he's terrible. He's just
terrible. So we'll reveal the special theme we'll have at some point on the Facebook page, I would have thought.
We will, yeah, but we're going to basically have a sort of Legends Wrestling style roundtable with a theme, and we will talk about that theme as far as wrestling goes. So it won't be...
You two can plan it, and I'll turn up.
That's okay. It won't be based on sort of one pay-per-view or anything. We'll be crisscrossing a fair bit.
Yeah.
Which will probably give Phil a bit of a nightmare grabbing all the audio for it, but I'll give him a hand. It'll be all right.
No, it'll be from the one pay-per-view. That'll be it. There'll be no this mismatching stuff.
All right, okay.
It'll be a themed podcast on one pay-per-view.
On one pay-per-view. Right, okay.
Yes.
So we're going to go for the best
John
tag team
Gonzalez.
partners of Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series.
Can we get some sound bites of Giant Gonzalez for this podcast?
I'll do my best.
I think it's at the Royal Rumble, that famous Undertaker thing, when he comes out. I'm sure it's when he interferes in the Royal Rumble.
Is that when he walks out in the middle of the Royal Rumble and pulls out the Undertaker? Is that how it happens?
Yeah, and then when he's walking back, I'm sure that's when he goes, Undertaker! Yeah, I'm sure it is.
As this giant continues the onslaught on the Undertaker.
I'm going to watch it on the network when I finish.
It'll be like that damn test from the last podcast where it's just like it dispersed like every few minutes.
I feel I'm going to I'm going to look on network for Giant Gonzalez and see how many things come up. Let's have a look.
There'll be a fair bit of WCW stuff in the early 90s, I would imagine.
But he's not called Giant Gonzalez.
That's how Ethan knew who he was. Because Ethan had this annual from WCW 1992 annual that had El Gigante in it.
Oh, God.
He kind of knew him from that, which was weird. And that's why Ethan hates Lex Luger, because he hit Ron Simmons with a trophy.
What a get.
Yeah. Thank you, Cameron.
No problem at all.
Thank you, Geordie Allen.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Conquistabores have left the building.
Let's take you to Joe Fowler. Joe who?
That's Joe Fowler.